so much happened in this game that we haven't necessarily talked about some of the lineup decisions that went into it, because I think they did affect very clearly what happened.
Yeah, definitely.
In the case of Pep, just going into this, and look, when people talk about, nobody's going to feel sorry for Manchester City because all the money they have and whatever. But to be fair to them, we've said this before, this is not the biggest squad in the world in terms of senior players. And when you get a rash of injuries at the back, you're in a tough spot. Nathan Ake, out. Joe Cancelo, suspended. Kyle Walker, out. John Stones, not fit. He started the game and he came off after half an hour?
Yeah, 25 minutes.
Which is even a risk, I think, putting him out there, because muscular
completely.
situations, you can aggravate them.
Yeah, exactly.
With 5 substitutions, maybe take a few more chances. At that point, he says, I don't have any more players.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, if one of the two, if Ruben Diaz or Laporte gets sent off, what happens then?
The kids from the bench.
What?
That's what you
CJ,
have.
Egan, Riley?
Yeah, that's all you have. That, but
I-
there was a lot of them on the bench.
It was. I thought that side of things is extraordinary.
no, for sure.
When we reflect on like massive squads and so on, let's also remember that you get to these situations, the biggest game of the season, arguably, at that to that stage, and you have to adjust and you have to make these decisions. I thought that was.
The Walker injury was, for that game, and for his importance defensively for City, it was the worst.
Okay. The possibility of Gabriel Jesus at right back, and then it turned out it was a joke. He said, I'm not going to play him at right back. With hindsight, I wonder, would it have been such a crazy idea? Obviously, it would have
With
been.
a back three, maybe.
But I think the interesting thing is the way they play, though, is the right backs come inside and turn into additional central midfielders. You see a lot more of that than you do of, overlapping fullbacks turning into wingers. So even the decision to start Gabriel Jesus, I think, when people talk about...
You had to.
Okay, you say you had to, but Gabriel Jesus is not a regular starter on this team. You had other players.
I know, but he
right?
just got 4 goals against Watford, and his press and counter press is perfect for a game like that.
I don't think this was a 100% obvious decision, because...
Raheem Sterling is not really on top form, so you play...
maybe you play Foden through the middle and you play Sterling on the other flank.
Yeah, maybe.
Or the £100 million man.
Yeah, who stayed on the bench, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't get on.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. It looked to me like Real Madrid, obviously, they knew the challenge. And from their end, you have Casemiro out, which, again, I always kind of feel, okay, Casemiro's overrated. But then you see what happens when he's not there. And when he's not there, it takes 2 people to replace him. And
although I thought it was a mistake not to start Camavinga, I have to say, and you saw that when he came on.
So the conservative choice, and I think this was Carlo perhaps trying to throw a curveball.
Yeah, I think so.
He starts Rodrigo. He says, you expect me to play Valverde as like a false winger and stuff, and essentially it's a 4-4-2. And then I put Camavinga there. Maybe I put Kroos. I think he would have put Kroos in front of the back 4, and then had Camavinga and Modric and Valverde to come inside, essentially.
Yeah, maybe.
But Kroos really hates playing there.
Yeah, and he's not good enough.
And it's not his position.
He spends his time running everywhere, which he can't do anymore. He's never been able to.
But then you put Camavinga there, and you think, oh my God, this guy's a teenager.
I know, but the energy is there. He's good. He's smooth with the ball. He knows what decisions to make to not lose the ball. I think it would have been better. I mean, he had an impact coming off the bench, and maybe that was the plan from Carlo, saying, okay, let's put Kroos.
I don't think it was. I think he tried to catch him off balance with Rodrigo. And
maybe. It didn't work out.
Alaba, not fully fit.
No.
Did not play well. You could tell that.
And
had to come off. And again, by the way, he comes off, and then you've got Nacho. And talking about big teams, big squads, lots of money. Talking about squad balance. Again, if Nacho gets injured, what happens then? Or Militao. Carvajal goes back to playing center back.
Yeah.
Right? I just want to note these because I think they're pretty extraordinary.
But that shows you that even at top clubs, sometimes you have to tinker and you have to try to move things around and hope for the best almost. Because Fernandinho are right back against Vinicius. Pep would say, okay, do your best. But Pep is hoping for the best. Because the guy is 55 years old, it could be his dad, and has a third of the pace that Vinicius had. So this is the only thing you can do is Fernandinho now. but you really hope for the best.
I mean, but this is what's surreal about this sport, right? Fernandinho does his best work in the game on the attacking end, right? Which nobody expected. And he has to play right back against somebody
But
who...
it's cruel as well for him to get done by the dummy and the nutmeg from Vinicius. Do you see what I mean?
I wonder, though, in that game, again, hindsight's always 20/20. I love these decisions that Pep has to make. I don't...
Yeah.
I saw CJ Egan-Riley play against Sporting in the game that was basically over and meaningless. He didn't do much wrong, but I have no idea. I mean, I read on the internet he's really more of a central defender anyway.
Yeah, true.
I'm assuming he's going to be a lot faster than Fernandinho, but I don't know. But I love...
You can't forget
But I love this dilemma that you face as a manager,
I don't think
right?
he had the dilemma even.
Oh, really? He's just going to say, I'm going to go with experience.
Yeah, and I even think we mentioned it on the FC show the night before. It was always an option, Fernandinho, even from the start. Even from the start, I think there was that possibility.
I would have thought a more realistic option might have been the back three.
And Jesus as wing back. Yeah, I did think that too.
But then again, he's never really done that before. I also wondered, could you put Gundogan play back three with Gundogan in the back three rather than Fernandinho, and keep Fernandinho as kind of...
Yeah, maybe.
You know, I don't know. For a long time, I mean, what I was told was his preferred option would have been shift Zinchenko to right back, and this is when he still thought Ake could play.
Yeah.
But Ake in no condition to play. He's playing through pain already. He's gritting his teeth.
I know.
So fascinating decisions.
Just can't wait to be next week already in the second leg.
I mean, this is this is a great
because
game.
Real Madrid right now, I think they're going to make it. For them, it was almost like a win. It felt like they celebrated. The newspaper certainly celebrated it almost like a win. But I'm like, okay, there's still a game to be played at the Bernabeu where you haven't
away
really...
goals rule.
And when they haven't really been good in the Champions League. I mean, they lost, they lost to Chelsea. Against PSG, they were under pressure for most of it, apart from that moment of magic from Karim. And even before that, they were not always that great. And they have a goal deficit.
I think what I really like about this new form, and I wasn't sure about doing away the away goals rule, blah, 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 but I think it's worked out well because
big time.
It's very simple to
fan.
understand. Very, very simple, right? It's 4-3, and this is the second half, right? So if you're Real Madrid, if you score a goal, it's 4-4. Then we go to extra time and penalties. If you score 2, then you're winning 5-4. It's very, very simple. Yeah. You don't have that calculation, which we would have had. Let's say Real Madrid go 2-1 up, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, now we defend. Now City have to go forward. That's not. It's not entertaining in the same way as I see it.
Very interesting.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.